This is Abdullah Kashmul, Class CIS 220, Data Structure and Elementary Algorithm, and this is Class 12 assignment, which is doing the sorting using the recursive. This is the main class. I just have the timings in here to measure the time for each operation. The sort, I already run the program because it takes a bit of a long time, so I need the output to be ready when at the end of the video. So the sorting, that means dividing into the files, then put them back into one file. The range, the most common, the least common, these two tasks are always together, and the non-repeated list. And each one, there is a timing for that task. So the first thing I needed to do is to break the list into smaller lists, which is going to be contained the 10,000, the 20,000, the 30,000, 40,000, and so on. However, when I tried to do recursive for the whole list, which contains about 100,000 numbers, I was not able to do it because it was reaching the memory limit, and I'm reaching an error. So what I needed to do first is divide the file into a smaller file. Each file has 500 numbers in it, or 500 lines in it, and then work on each file on these files. Which is, here comes the sorting. So what it's going to do is going to take each file number, and then it's going to run it through this. So it's going to put the 10,000 in this, and the 20,000, the 30,000. What I'm doing is getting the number and just taking the first one. If it's 1, that means it's in the 10,000. If it's 2, in the 20,000, and so on until the 9,000. So what I'm doing is, here is the recursive. After it runs this class, let's say starting from the file number 0, I have about 200 files starting from 0 to 199. After it reaches the end, if there are still more files, then it's going to run the class itself again. And the reason why I divided them, because I cannot take the whole big file right away, so I had to divide it into smaller files and take one small file at a time. Each file is 500 lines, which made 200 files. After I'm done with sorting everything into these lists, which is 10 lists, then I'm gonna put all the lists back together into one file. So this class is just saving the ranges for each list, the length for each list, so that I can use it later for the search and sort. Then I'm gonna put everyone in the list and put all of them back into one file or one list, and that file is called recursive TDQ. And it's going to be sorted that the first section is going to be the 20,000s and the 30,000s and so on. So it's 10 sections. And here where I'm performing the operations, so to find the range, I need to find the minimum and the maximum. The minimum, of course, is going to be in the first range, which is in the 20,000s. And the maximum is going to be at the end of the file, which is in the 90,000s. So I only need to search over there, which make my search even faster rather than having to search the whole file. And the most common, least common, when I'm looking for a number, I look into that section. Like, for example, if I have the 20,000s, I'm gonna reach, I'm not gonna, the 30,000s, I'm not gonna exceed into the 4,000s, which is what that range is over here. The 4 is the 40,000s. I'm gonna look into the less than 40,000s, and I'm gonna skip the numbers that are in the beginning, which are the 20,000s. So that's gonna leave me between the beginning of 30,000s into the 4,000s, and I'm only gonna look into that part, so it's gonna be even faster. And when it comes to non-repeated list, this is always the same, because I still have to go through all the numbers and make sure that none of the numbers are repeated. So it's going to give me this the same time every time. So time it took to sort the file is 1.9 seconds. Time it took to find the range is 0.019 seconds. And to find the most common, least common is 122 seconds. And to do the non-repeated list is about 1 minute.